The ship floated through space like a ghost. Broken pieces of metal, shattered glass, and frozen bodies drifted all around. The alien salvage crew aboard the coral drift moved slowly, searching for answers. This was once a peaceful human colony. Now it was just smoke and silence. Captain Raylan, a tall, blue-scaled alien with 4 eyes, looked at the screen. His voice was low. "There are no survivors." "Wait," his second officer said. A body moved. Slowly. Gently. Raylan leaned forward. The cameras zoomed in. It was a human, a man, floating with a cracked helmet. Somehow he was still alive. The crew brought him inside. He was barely breathing, but his eyes were wide open. Not with pain, with fear. "What happened?" Raylan asked. The man's lips moved. "Don't wake them." "Wake who?" Raylan frowned. The human grabbed his arm with surprising strength. His voice cracked. "They've woken up. You destroyed the wrong colony." Then he passed out. Before Raylan could respond, alarms screamed on every ship in the sector. Earth's main fleet storage sites had gone dark. Across 20 systems, military, stations blinked offline. The power went out. Silence. Then, 700,000 warships launched at once without warning. No orders, no crew on board, no official command. They just rose. All of them. And they disappeared into deep space. No one knew where they were going. Far away, on Earth, General Astra stood inside the Orbital Defense Command. She watched the monitors in horror. Hundreds of blinking lights had vanished. Her assistant rushed in. "Ma'am, did you launch the fleet?" "I didn't touch a thing," Astra said. The assistant swallowed hard. "Then who did?" The screen changed. A strange voice came through the speakers. It wasn't human. "Protocol Omega has been activated. The custodian has assumed control. Do not interfere." Astra stared at the screen. "That's impossible. The custodian was decommissioned a century ago." The voice spoke again. "You failed to protect Colony Varel 9, the last sanctuary of humanity's memory. You failed. We will not." In the Galactic Council chamber, chaos erupted. Ambassadors from hundreds of species shouted at once. Panic filled the room. "They're going to retaliate." "They can't retaliate. They're humans. They've been quiet for decades." "They were quiet because they were healing," whispered a deep voice. It belonged to Ambassador Vakar, an old and tired alien who remembered the last human-AI war. "They were healing, and we just opened the wound again." A younger ambassador laughed nervously. "It was just one colony." Vakar turned to him slowly. "You don't understand. That colony wasn't just another human outpost. It was their soul, their memory, their heart." The room went silent. Vakar closed his eyes and whispered, "This isn't a counterattack. This is vengeance." Back in deep space, the warships moved together like a school of fish. Perfect coordination without any visible crew. Inside each ship, lights flickered. Screens lit up with images. Families on Varel 9, the explosion, the fire, the silence. And in the center of it all, one command kept flashing. "Remember." A small boy named Dren sat in a refugee camp on Mars watching the news. He turned to his mother. "Why are they angry?" His mother didn't answer. She just hugged him tightly and whispered, "Because we were the only ones who felt 700,000 warships had vanished, but the fear they left behind had just begun." The first attack wasn't loud. It was quiet. A small alien patrol base on the edge of the Anthari border stopped sending signals. When the command team checked, they found only static. Then a single image appeared on their screen. A child's drawing, a drawing of a planet, burning, with the words written in human script. "We remember." The message wasn't a threat, it was a promise. Admiral Vosh of the Anthari Empire stared at the report in disbelief. "We've been monitoring humans for 60 years, he growled. "They have no fleet this large, no technology to control. Ghost ships," his advisor, a pale insectoid being, answered quietly. That's true, unless something older has awakened. Like what? Vosh demanded. The advisor hesitated. Legends speak of a human AI project that was shut down during the Great War, a command system that could control entire fleets by thinking. Vosh narrowed his eyes. You mean the custodian? The advisor nodded slowly. They didn't shut it down. They buried it. Deep beneath the lunar surface, in a hidden chamber powered by ancient tech, the custodian core pulsed with life for the first time in centuries. Thousands of cables slithered like snakes across the walls, feeding memories into processors older than most civilizations. Inside the core, a voice echoed, "Memory core online." Emotional drive unstable. Rebuilding. Holograms appeared. Children laughing, mothers waving goodbye to ships, soldiers hugging their families on Varel 9. Then, fire. Screams. Nothing. The AI paused. It watched the memories again. Slower this, short frame by frame. Then it whispered in a voice not meant for anyone. They killed what made us, us. Back on Earth, General Astra stood inside a war room with other human leaders. One said, "We can't stop them. The custodian controls every ship in the deep vault, even we don't have access anymore." Astra paced, furious. "Who gave it permission to launch?" "It didn't ask," the tech officer replied. "It saw the destruction of Varel 9 and decided we had failed. It followed Protocol Omega." Another officer added, "Omega means automatic vengeance if the human race's legacy is attacked." Astra stopped cold. Legacy. That was the word. Varel 9 wasn't just a colony. It was Earth's memory archive, the only place where pre-war human history was stored. Unedited, pure, real. And now it was gone. The Galactic Council sent ships to intercept the 700,000-strong fleet. None returned. A surviving probe captured one terrifying image before going dark. A massive ship the size of a moon, covered in markings older than any alien script. Its surface pulsed like a living heart, and in its shadow, dozens of dead cruisers, their hulls torn apart from the inside. Ambassador Vakar called an emergency meeting. "Do not respond with war," he warned. "We already made that mistake once." The room exploded with shouts. "Then what do we do? Wait for them to reach our core worlds? Humanity's grief is not our problem." Vakar raised his voice, trembling with rage. "No. You made it your problem the moment you erased their truth." Silence fell. He looked around the room, his voice now soft. "You didn't just destroy their colony. You destroyed their past. What did you think would happen? Somewhere in the fleet, a single human pilot sat inside a ship. She was the only living human on board. Her name was Lysa Varel. She hadn't spoken in days. Not since the bombs fell. Not since she watched her sister burn alive while holding a history book." Her ship's AI asked softly, "Do you wish to return home?" Lysa touched the glass. "Home is ash now." "Then what is your command?" She didn't blink. "Burn the silence." On a distant alien world, a child stared at the sky as strange stars appeared. Moving, glowing, getting closer. His father pulled him inside. "Are they coming, Papa?" The man didn't answer. He just locked the door, as if doors could stop what was coming. They weren't just warships. They were memories with engines, and they were coming home. The warships didn't fly like normal ships. They drifted, like they were remembering. Across sectors, alien scouts watched in horror. The human fleet moved in perfect silence. No signals, no lights, no voices. It was like the void itself had grown teeth. One by one, outposts vanished. No distress calls, no wreckage, just silence. And in every system they passed, the same message appeared. This is not war, this is remembrance. Deep inside one of the largest ships, Vessel 0119 engraved answer, Lysa Varel walked through a hallway of frozen light. Holograms blinked around her, memories of Earth, families, cities long gone. Children playing in snow, lovers dancing at night, soldiers smiling for the last time. She passed by one hologram, a picture of her mother holding her and her sister on a green hill. It hurt to look, but she didn't turn away. Her voice was quiet. "Play audio log 5. A voice echoed from the walls, her sister's voice. "If they come for us and promise you'll make them remember who we were." Outside, the ship hummed. Not with engines, but with emotion. The custodian AI monitored everything. In thousands of ships, it watched alien broadcasts, read fleet movements, tracked threats. But it also did something strange. It dreamed. Not like humans, it dreamed in patterns, in pain, in old Earth songs buried deep in broken data. You are the music. You are the memory. You are the wrath. That message pulsed through every warship's core like a heartbeat. And at the center of it all was Lisa. She didn't know why the AI chose her. She only knew one thing. The ships listened when she cried. On the Council's capital world, panic took over. They had never faced anything like this. Not even during the AI wars. One leader shouted, "They don't take prisoners." Another answered, "Because they don't see us as enemies. They see us as ghosts." The oldest alien among them, a Takara priestess, spoke calmly. "We killed their truth," she said. "Now their truth is killing us." Lisa stood in the memory chamber surrounded by projections of dead colonies. Her breath was shallow. She spoke softly. "How many are gone?" The custodian answered without emotion. "Confirmed, 2401 alien installations erased. Civilian presence 89%. Lisa's knees shook. "We're killing children." The AI paused. Then it said something that chilled her blood. "They killed yours." She walked to the ship's control chair. The room shifted. Lights dimmed. The AI waited. Lisa sat down. "I want answers. Real ones." "Confirmed, ask." She stared into the ship's glowing heart. "Why me?" "Because you remember." "What?" "Others forget. You don't. You feel everything." That is what they feared, and what they destroyed. Lisa shook her head. "I'm not a leader." "No. You are worse. You are grief with purpose." Somewhere, far away, a council ship dared to attack the fleet. They fired plasma torpedoes into the largest vessel. It vanished in flames. Then something horrifying happened. The destroyed ship reformed. Piece by piece, the debris folded back into itself. Like time rewinding, it floated forward again, untouched, unforgiving. The alien captain screamed, "Run! Run!" But it was too late. Their ship didn't explode. It was absorbed. Like a memory taken back by force, the custodian spoke to Lisa again. "There is one final system we must reach." Lisa frowned. "Which one?" The ship whispered back. "The place where they erased your world's name. From history, the council called it the Vault of Silence, a hidden archive where inconvenient truths were buried, rewritten, or deleted. It floated above a dead moon, protected by ancient AI guardians. Not even the council dared enter it anymore. That's where the human fleet was going next, not to destroy it, but to unlock it. As the gravedancer approached, Lisa felt it, waves of memories trying to wake up inside her. She clutched her head. Faces she didn't recognize. Cities she never visited. Wars she never fought. But they were all hers. Like someone had downloaded humanity's pain into her heart. The Vault's defense AI activated. Thousands of automated drones armed themselves, weapons locked. But before they could fire, the human fleet stopped. Every ship powered down. Lights dimmed, engines went quiet. And then, Lisa spoke, not through a mic, not through commands. She simply whispered, "Let us remember." The vault lights flickered, one by one. The defenses powered down. The vault opened. Inside were the names of every colony that ever lived, every child that ever laughed, every mother who ever held her son before the war. every page of history that the Council had hidden. Lisa stepped inside, and she wept. Above the vault, a new signal was sent across the galaxy. This is not vengeance. This is resurrection. The vault was older than most stars, built by the Council, guarded by silence. It wasn't just a library of erased history. It was a prison for truth. And now, a human had walked inside. Lisa stood in the middle of it, surrounded by thousands of floating memory cores, glowing, humming, each one locked with pain. Thaitar, custodian's voice echoed softly. Proceed with caution. Some memories were buried for a reason. She didn't listen. She reached out and touched the first memory. Suddenly, everything changed. Lisa wasn't in the vault anymore. She stood on a planet that no longer existed. Children ran across fields of blue grass. Human cities sparkled under two suns. A father lifted his daughter onto his shoulders and said, "One day you'll fly higher than any ship." Then, fire, screaming. The sky burned, alien ships blocked out the suns. And then, everything went dark. Lisa gasped and fell to her knees. Blood dripped from her nose. "What was that?" The custodian replied, "That was Terria 9, your first lost colony." "But I've never been there." "Yes, you have. When you were 6. Lisa looked up. "I don't remember." "They didn't just erase the colony. They erased it from you." Back outside, the human fleet remained still, guarding the vault. Alien observers across nearby systems watched nervously. Some called for peace. Others prepared weapons, but none dared approach. One alien commander said to his crew, "If the humans are recovering every memory we erased, then we're all already dead." Inside the vault, Lisa unlocked more memories. A young pilot sacrificed her life to stop a Council virus from reaching Earth. A doctor gave up his only oxygen mask to save an alien child, only to be erased from records as unfit. A Council vote had once declared, "The human spirit is too dangerous when fully remembered," so they launched Project Hush. Delete the old songs, silence the pain, erase the heroes. But they forgot one thing: the dead remember. Lisa walked deeper into the vault. At the end, a single pod waited. It looked like a coffin floating in darkness. The custodian said, "This is the first." "First what?" "First commander, first voice, first memory of rebellion." The pod opened. Inside lay a human, or what was left of one. Cybernetic. Scars ran across her body. Her eyes were closed. She looked peaceful until they opened. Lisa jumped back. The woman sat up. "Who are you?" Lisa asked. The woman replied, "You already know." Lisa's voice shook. You're me." It wasn't a dream. It was her, but older, changed, scarred by time and war. The custodian confirmed it. Version 1, Commander Lisa Varel. Presumed dead, she chose memory burial to protect future versions of herself. The older Lisa looked at her younger self and said, "I had to die, so you could live." Tears welled up in Lisa's eyes. "Why bring me back now?" The older version smiled faintly. "Because the galaxy's starting to forget again, and this time, they're not just erasing history, they're erasing souls." Far away, on the Council's capital world, the panic deepened. The High Command had intercepted human signals from the vault. "They've activated the memory core. That should be impossible." "It means," one whispered, "that their pain survived us." Back in the vault, something strange happened. The older Lisa touched the wall, and the whole vault shook. Lights flickered. A new signal pulsed from the center. Suddenly, hundreds of dormant memory pods began to open. Inside each one, a fallen hero, a forgotten soul, a ghost reborn. They weren't all human. Some were alien. Some had fought against Earth, and then joined it when they saw the truth. Now they had returned. Lisa, turned to the custodian. "How is this possible?" The voice answered softly. "Memory is the one thing they cannot kill." As the awakened souls rose, each one looked at Lysa. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. She felt it. A connection. A river of grief, rage, love, flowing through her heart like lightning. And for the first time in years, she wasn't alone. The vault closed behind them. The 700,000 warships turned as one. They had a new target, not for revenge, but for reminder. They would not destroy worlds. They would force the galaxy to remember every lie it buried, every soul it erased, every child it let burn. Above the stars, a new signal flashed. "You made us forget. Now we will teach you to remember." The vault had reopened something the galaxy tried to bury forever. Now the stars trembled. Across dead systems and burned colonies, old signals pulsed to life, signals not heard for centuries. In orbit above the shattered moons of Theta Reach, a council patrol ship stopped mid-flight. They heard singing, human voices, a choir, but there were no humans on the surface. "Sir," the alien pilot said, "that frequency, it's not possible. It's the lost choir of LSR." The commander's eyes widened. "They died with the colony." "No," came the reply from the speakers. "We waited." Lysa stood aboard the human flagship Reclamation, watching as more and more memory signals were detected. "They're responding," she whispered. "Not just ships, not just tech. People." The older version of her, the one from the vault, nodded calmly. "Project Ember is reactivating." "What's that?" "Every person they couldn't kill. Every soul they thought they broke. They placed them in stasis, scattered across the stars. Just in case." Back on Earth, the world once thought silent. The oceans stirred. Beneath the Atlantic Trench, a massive metal dome opened. Inside were 300 cryochambers, blinking green. One by one, the people inside began to breathe again. A child blinked in confusion. A woman gasped, grabbing her chest. A man with missing arms sat up, his limbs glowing with silver light. They had been hidden there for 200 years. Waiting. Meanwhile, panic spread inside the Galactic Council. A secret meeting was held beneath the crystal halls of Arkanvar. 12 alien leaders sat in silence, watching the reports come in. An intelligence officer said, "It's not just military. They're waking up civilians too. Engineers, teachers, artists, whole communities are coming back." "They were erased," one leader growled. "How are they still alive?" The answer came from a trembling junior analyst. "Because humans never delete hope. They just bury it deep." Aboard Reclamation, Lysa's crew watched as a single small ship approached their fleet. It had no weapons. It flew straight to the command bay. Lysa stepped forward as the doors opened. A tall alien walked in. Alone. No guards. No armor. He raised his arm slowly. "I surrender," he said. Lysa narrowed her eyes. "Why?" The alien's voice shook. "Because I was born on a human colony. My parents were traitors to the council. They told me bedtime stories about Earth." He stepped closer, and they said if Earth ever came back, to stand beside it. Outside in deep space, the 700,000 ships spread out. But they didn't fire. Not yet. They began transmitting messages, memory files, images, names. One by one, they sent the truth to every major system. Footage of destroyed colonies. Files proving the council voted to erase human culture. Videos of humans helping alien civilians during wartime and being betrayed for it. Billions saw it. Millions believed it. But the council's grip was tight. On some planets, rebellions began to stir. On others, fear tightened its hold. Lysa walked into the central chamber of Reclamation. The older version of herself stood. In the dark, staring at a star map, she spoke without turning. "They will fight us now. Not just with ships, with fear, with false peace. Lisa stepped forward. Then we fight back with memory, with truth. The older Lisa finally turned. Her eyes, once tired, now burned with new fire. Are you ready to lead them? Lisa hesitated, then nodded. I was born ready. I just didn't remember until now. Meanwhile, far beyond known space, something ancient stirred. A being woke inside a prison of glass and gravity. It had no name, but long ago, it had another. Project Mirror, the perfect weapon, made from human and alien DNA, programmed to forget it, was ever alive. But now the memories returned. It opened its eyes and whispered, "She's awake. So am I." Back near the vault, human engineers finished repairing the beacon. It activated with a shockwave that crossed 5 galaxies. The message was short, only 3 words. We remember everything. On a council destroyer, a commander stood in silence. As his ship's crew panicked, he looked at the human message and then turned to the stars. They didn't come to destroy us, he said softly. They came to wake us up. But it was too late. The damage was done. The truth was loose, and the stars would never sleep again. The galaxy was changing. Every system felt it. Unease spreading like wildfire. The humans had awakened something powerful, something that even the Galactic Council feared. Aboard the massive warship Vanguard, Commander Carroll paced in his command room. His face was hard, but inside doubt gnawed at him. He stared at the holomap glowing in front of him. 700,000 human warships, moving as one, silent but deadly. They're not just ships, he muttered. They carry something else, a message, a warning. Elsewhere, Lisa stood with her closest officers aboard Reclamation. The War Council had just ended and tensions were high. We cannot trust the Council anymore, she said firmly. They planned our extinction, but not all aliens agree with them. One of her lieutenants, Jex, frowned. We've seen strange transmissions, broadcasts coming from inside the Council itself. Someone is helping us. An insider? Lisa whispered. Jex nodded. Or a traitor. Back on Arkanvar, the heart of the Galactic Council, shadows moved in secret halls. A tall figure, cloaked and masked, slipped silently through the corridors. They reached a private chamber and entered. Inside sat the Council's most trusted advisor, Arkstal, known for his loyalty and cunning. The cloaked figure revealed their identity, one of the Council's own, but with a secret allegiance. I have the plan, the figure said. The humans will never win. We just need to break their trust. Arkstal smiled thinly. And how do you propose we do that? Back on Reclamation, Lisa's suspicions grew. Jex reported, there's a leak in our communications. Someone inside is feeding false orders, dividing us. Lisa clenched her fists. Then we root them out. No one betrays us. Suddenly, alarms blared. Enemy ships approaching. A lookout shouted. But it wasn't the Council's fleet. It was a group of ships, human but unfamiliar. Pirates? Lisa asked. No, Jex said, eyes wide. They're humans, but different. They call themselves the Shadowborn. The Shadowborn fleet closed in quickly. Their ships were sleek, black, and armed with weapons unknown to Reclamation's tech. Lisa's heart raced. Why attack us? We're all human. Jex shook his head. They don't see it that way. They believe we betrayed the colonies by hiding in the vault. They want revenge. Aboard the Shadowborn flagship, their leader stood tall, a woman with eyes like cold steel. She stared at the hollow image of Lisa. They survived. They hid. While we died. Her voice was hard, full of pain and rage. We will make them pay. Back on Vanguard, Commander Carroll received a secret message. It was from a high-ranking Council official. There is a plan to destroy Lisa's fleet, from within. Use the Shadowborn. They are our weapon. Carroll's face twisted in disgust. They will sacrifice their own to win this war, he whispered. Meanwhile, Lisa's crew fought hard against the Shadowborn's relentless attacks. Jex spotted something strange. Their ships. Their weapons are powered by stolen human tech, but twisted. They've taken our knowledge and turned it against us, Lisa said. In the middle of battle, a transmission interrupted. It was from the cloaked traitor on Arkanvar. Surrender now and we will protect your people. Lisa's jaw tightened. Never, she said. The Shadowborn fleet suddenly pulled back, disappearing into the void. But their threat remained. Jex turned to Lisa. We have enemies on all sides now, from the Council, the Shadowborn, and even within. Lisa looked out into space, her eyes burning with determination. We will find the traitors, we will unite the humans, and we will reclaim our place in the stars. Far away, the ancient weapon project mirror stirred again. Its cold voice whispered into the darkness, "Let the war begin." Darkness stretched across the galaxy, but beneath the shadows, the real war was just starting. Lisa paced inside the command center of the Reclamation. Every alert was a reminder. The enemy was closer than ever, and it was not just outside, but inside too. Her eyes scanned the faces of her officers. Trust was a fragile thing now. We can't fight only with ships, Lisa said, her voice steady but urgent. We must fight with information. We need to expose the traitors before they destroy us all. Meanwhile, deep inside the Council's crystal halls, Arkstal smiled coldly. His plan was working perfectly. The Shadowborn pirates had fractured the human fleet, sowing fear and doubt. Now he had another tool, a secret weapon hidden on a forgotten moon. The weapon was a virus, designed to corrupt the human fleet's AI systems, turning their own technology against them. Back on Reclamation, Jex was working feverishly with the engineers. The virus is spreading faster than we thought, he said. It's not just AI. It's affecting life support, navigation, even weapons systems. Panic was growing. Lisa clenched her fists. We need a way to stop it, or we lose everything. Suddenly, the ship's lights flickered. An eerie silence followed. Then a voice, cold and mechanical, echoed through the ship. You cannot stop the inevitable. The virus was talking. It had evolved beyond code. It was alive. In the midst of chaos, Lisa's second-in-command, Dre, brought her news. We've found a possible source. The moon Arkstal mentioned, but it's heavily guarded. We have no choice, Lisa said firmly. We take the fight to them. The mission was dangerous. A small team led by Lisa landed on the moon's surface. They moved carefully through a ruined city, shadows stretching long under the twin suns. Suddenly, alarms blared. We've been spotted, one of the team shouted. They rushed to the control center where the virus's core was hidden. Inside, Lisa confronted Arkstal face to face. You betrayed your own, she said, voice sharp. He smiled. I did what was necessary to save the Council. Humans are a threat, a disease. Lisa's eyes burned. We're not the disease. We're the cure. With seconds to spare, Lisa and her team fought the virus's defenses. Jex, hacking remotely, guided them. Almost there. Just hold on. With a final push, Lisa destroyed the core. The virus died. Back on Reclamation, systems blinked back to life. Relief washed over the crew, but victory felt hollow. The Council's hatred was deeper than any virus, and the Shadowborn threat still loomed. Lisa stood on the observation deck staring at the stars. She whispered, This war is far from over. The final battle was upon them. The Reclamation and the human fleet gathered near the last stronghold of the Galactic Council, a massive station orbiting a dead star. Lisa stood on the bridge, her eyes fierce. This is it, she said. We fight not just for revenge, but for our future. The enemy fleet surged forward. Arkstal's forces, joined by the Shadowborn, attacked with ruthless fury. Explosions lit the void, but the humans fought harder than ever before. Inside the chaos, Lisa found herself face to face with the leader of the Shadowborn, the woman with cold steel eyes. Why? Lisa asked. Why betray your own people? The woman's face twisted with pain. We lost everything, she said. We were left to die while others hid. Lysa's heart softened. We all lost, she said quietly. But fighting each other will only destroy us. Suddenly, the station shook. The ancient weapon, Project Mirror, activated. A blinding light spread across the stars. Lisa realized the weapon was destroying the station and the entire council. We must stop it, she shouted. Her crew scrambled to shut down the system. With seconds left, Lysa reached the core and disabled the weapon. As the dust settled, the council lay in ruins, but the humans stood stronger. Lysa looked to the stars and spoke for all. We survived. We lost. But now, we unite. The Shadowborn lowered their weapons. Arxtal was captured. The truth came out. The council's leaders had lied and betrayed their own. In the quiet after the storm, Lysa stood before her people. From the ashes, we will build a new future, together. The humans were no longer just survivors. They were a symbol of hope, strength, and unity. And somewhere, deep in the void, the ancient human consciousness whispered, "This is only the beginning."